Welcome to Prime Testimony channel. I first of all want to thank all my subscribers and all those that watch my videos. I thank you very much. I will encourage you to continue watching them and continue liking them, making comments and recommending them by sharing, the link to other friends and acquaintances around the world. We are going to look today at a certain important topic. That is the certain signs or signals that ladies must not take for granted during courtship. It is not every courtship that leads to marriage or leads to the tying of the knot. And it is important to study yourselves. And right now you are in courtship and you are planning maybe to get engaged or to get married. There are certain things you must take not for granted. Number one, if a guy constantly gives excuses of not wanting to take you to know where he lives, you have to think twice. Some enter relationships, they visit the lady, often they do everything they can together, but the lady doesn't know where the gentleman lives. And anytime she asks about where he lives or expresses interest to see the place, the gentleman continues giving excuses. You have to watch it. If exactly 1 year to your marriage, you have not ever seen or spoken to the parents and any of the siblings of your guy, you have to be very watchful. Yes, we understand that sometimes people may be living in different countries working, but at least 1 year to your marriage or 1 year to the tying of the knot, at least you should have spoken to the parents on phone, and where you live in the same country, try to at least arrange for a visit to go and meet the parents before you get married. I mean, cultures are different. In Europe and America, two people can meet together and marry. But in Africa, where marriage is between families, that one cannot be taken for granted. When your guy is also not interested in your family affairs, you have to be very watchful. We are not saying that you should go and put your burden on the gentleman. But at least if you've informed him that your mother wasn't well, you expect that at a point in time he will ask you, you said your mother was not well, how is she doing? Or anything that the gentleman will do to portray that he's also interested in your family affairs is very important. But where he doesn't care about your family at all, but all that he does is that he cares about his own family, then you have to think twice. If the gentleman constantly make negative statements about others that are committed to their families, then you have to be watchful. It is every young lady's desire to get married to a gentleman who is committed to his family. But before you start your family, if your guy always criticizes or finds nothing good about gentlemen who are already doing well with their families and always seem to disagree with them and make negative comments about them, you have to also watch it. Permanent disagreement on faith. It is easy to say that, oh, when we tie the knots, I will follow this faith, you also follow your own faith. But it is not that easy. So it is something that you have to discuss and agree before you enter. Usually when it comes to one particular religion and denomination, it is not too difficult. But when it comes to two separate faiths, you have to be extra careful and then agree on it before whatever you would do or before you say I do. And if your gentleman has a strong belief that others are the reason for his predicament and constantly talks about it, harboring unforgiving spirit against people who had offended him and is never ready to forgive, despite all your efforts, you have to watch it. If your gentleman or your boyfriend or your fiance has a history of woman battery or believes in the phenomenon of domestic violence, you have to be extra careful. Sometimes there are so many ways you can notice the comments he makes on similar situations. Sometimes we'll be watching movies together, somebody will exhibit that character. Watch the comments and try to interrogate him to find out how he feels about the whole situation. If he's somebody who has a strong belief that women should be beaten when they go off, my sister, you have to run away before it is too late. Some also have uncontrollable anger. When your boyfriend or when your fiance has an uncontrollable anger, you have to be very, very, very careful. Of course, we are all witnesses to many shooting incidences that usually occurs in America, Africa, Europe, and other nations or other countries. When your guy has strong belief in gender stereotyping, also watch it. And when he's a person who has a strong language, non-romantic, but still not ready to learn, it will be very difficult to cohabit with such a person. Some of them are so serious that even if the wife cracks her jokes, he goes like, what is funny about this? I met a young lady whose husband is a medical doctor. She was telling me that, oh, my husband is very responsible, very caring, but he's not romantic. He doesn't even smile. He's always serious about life. And it was a bother to the young lady. You cannot enter into marriage with somebody who is not romantic. And as I did say, if it is something that he is not prepared to change, some people change, but make sure you iron that one out before you tie the knot. If your guy is one who quickly shoots down on a woman that plans to pursue further training for self-improvement when the time is right, you have to be careful. Some people naturally do not want their women to go forward or to be projected in high on the educational ladder or on the corporate ladder. And sometimes it's due to insecurity or maybe other reasons. So you have to try to find out how he feels about such. And watch this one too. If your gentleman treats you very well, but treats all others with disrespect, it's a dangerous thing. When you tie the knot, he will treat you same. So you better advise yourself before it is too late. If he's a self-conceited person, always right in his own eyes, never saying I'm sorry, please forgive me, then you are in for trouble. If you find out that he's a confirmed liar, or he's always moving with some dubious characters, or always defending known dubious characters, my sister, it is better for you to leave and start afresh. In fact, love is sweet. Love is blind, they say. Love can be stubborn. Actually, there's no perfect human being anywhere, I agree. But if your man exhibits most of these characters, then you better leave and start afresh before you tie the knot. Or you will tie the knot, then you join the many that are already trapped in marriage crying. As I did say, there are no perfect human beings anywhere. But these are signs you shouldn't take for granted. It is better for you to marry 30 years in your life in happiness rather than marrying 50 something years in your life full of sorrow and pain. My young lady who is preparing to tie the knot, this is my own view that I'm sharing with you. If you think you also share same with me, then try to re-examine your partner with some other criteria you yourself think is appropriate. I wish you all the best in your relationship. God bless you.